Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of small groups. We're so glad that you're here as we end out our series called Heaven. And it's leading right into our Easter Sunday services here at Faith Church on April 5th, 8, 9:30, and 11 o'clock. These are going to be service times you want to have memorized. So that way, when you invite your family, when you invite your friends, when you invite your coworkers, when you invite someone that you always run into at the gas station or the grocery store, you're going to have these times memorized and you're going to be able to invite someone to Easter Sunday here at Faith Church. And there's going to be some fun and exciting things. There's going to be cool family backdrops that you could take a picture with your family, you could take a picture with your friends, even your small group, to commemorate the day, commemorate the season, and just have a special picture. But more importantly than that, and something that I'm really looking forward to, is celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm looking forward to worshiping together that Sunday morning. And so I hope to see you all there and see your friends or your family that you've been inviting for quite some time, and they finally said yes here on Easter Sunday. I'm looking forward to the impact that Jesus is going to make in our spiritual family. And as Pastor Jordan ended out our Heaven series, he spoke on the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he talked about how our culture is ingrained around celebrating things with a meal. Maybe you've been to several different sports banquets when you were growing up, or maybe you go for your kids. You go to a sports banquet. What about wedding receptions? You've probably been to a few weddings and went to the reception. Maybe they had a full meal, maybe they had a dessert, and you celebrated something around a meal. Maybe you can think back and remember the first date that you took your now spouse on. Or maybe you're just thinking about someone to take on a first date, or where to take someone on a first date. I'm not going to give you any advice because I have no room to talk. I'm not going to tell that story here, but I'll just tell you, after our first date, I don't know how Haley came back for a second date or a third date or how we got married. But I will tell you, don't do a first date how I did a first date. Or maybe do, because it worked. I don't know. Maybe it's just God's grace. But our culture celebrates things around meals. And Pastor Jordan spoke on this on Sunday. And what really challenged me in his message was when he reverted back to the parable that Jesus tells in Luke chapter 14. And maybe you were challenged by this. Maybe you can reflect on this, but it'll also be a big question that we have here at the end. And so let's go ahead and dive into the questions. Number one, if you could have a meal with Jesus today, where would you take him? And what is the first question you would ask? Number two, in heaven, you will be fully you, with no one to try to impress or prove yourself to. And so here's a good question for that. How do you think it will feel to be fully you? To be fully you, exactly the way that God made you to be. How do you think that will feel? And the last question here is to read Luke chapter 14, verses 15 through 24, the parable that Pastor Jordan went over and discussed. Man, I hope y'all guys have a great small group together. Be praying over each other. Be praying over our Easter season here at Faith Church, that those who are far from God would come closer to him. That's our prayer. We'll see you next week right here at Faith Church.